So today we're actually going to talk a little bit about gong baths. The beautiful thing about the gong bath is that it has healing powers. And so today we're going to do a gong bath meditation. And so I'm going to do a very short PowerPoint for you guys. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now and go over to the PowerPoint presentation so that I can just do a very short PowerPoint on gong baths with you. You guys know I like to add a little extra information that I think is important, to what we're doing, just so you can have a little bit of an understanding. So we're doing a gong bath meditation. Okay. Now, some of you may have never heard this term before, but it's a gong meditation. And the bath part is the frequency and the vibration, the actual audio, the sound that you hear of the gong hitting. If you do have a good earbud, I recommend connecting that, whether it's wired or wireless, just for this, this meditation is 11 minutes and 11 seconds. If you don't have that, make sure you have decent speakers where you can actually hear the sound. Because this gong is a very low frequency gong. And so if you don't have a decent sound, you might not be able to hear the full rumble of the actual gong itself. But it does have a good rumble to it. It's a low frequency vibration, so it's a healing vibration. And it's also encoded at 432 hertz. So gong baths are highly rejuvenating for the body and bring about an overall sense of relaxation, which can reduce stress, as well as help develop a better ability to cope with stress and help remove emotional blockages from trauma and even stimulate altered states of consciousness. So if you're trying to get into that deeper state of consciousness, into an altered state through meditation, whether it be that you're trying to see different geometrical shapes during your meditation, whether you're trying to transcend dimensions through meditation, the gong bath is very, very effective at helping you do that, okay? Gong baths are a type of inactive meditation where you bathe in the healing vibrations of sound. So using sound as a form of healing dates back to the ancient cultures, as we all know. Records of using gongs have surfaced from as early as the ancient Egyptian, Greek, and Roman times. And we know now through the Emerald Tablets, I talk about this in my book, Compendium of the Emerald Tablets. We're talking about going back literally 36 to 40,000 years. The benefits and knowledge of using sound as a healing and vibration go back to deep antiquity. Gongs have been used as shamanic healing tools, celebratory instruments, and a method of communication for thousands of years. And evidence suggests that the gong making is known as early as 4000 BC. And ancient alchemy sources put the gong as far back as 16,000 BC. That comes from a sound healing practitioner. Again, if you go into the Emerald Tablets, you discover that it goes even deeper than that. 2 more processional periods back in time will take you back to the first account of using gong healing, and that's in the Emerald Tablets. A gong bath or gong meditation is a form of sound healing designed to offer relaxation, emotional release, pain relief, and also gong bath sessions take place either usually in a group or generally they can last between 45 minutes to 2 hours. This gong bath meditation this morning is only going to be 11 minutes and 11 seconds, 11:11. And you can take this track, which is actually my track on my YouTube channel, this gong meditation, and you can actually loop it. So you can get just the raw sound itself, the gong meditation, on your Apple Music, Spotify, Deezer, Tidal, any music platform that you have. You can put it on replay. You can also, of course, get it on YouTube and put your YouTube on auto replay. And then you can actually loop it so that you can have as much time as you want. You can have 5 hours, 6 hours. You can have 1 hour. You can have, 22 minutes and 22 seconds if you loop it twice. So I did it like that for a specific reason. You can have a short, incredible, intense gong meditation for a short period of time, or if you have more time on your hands, you can actually extend it. Now, during a gong bath, participants typically lie down and get comfortable with blankets and pillows. You can do that, or you can still sit in your normal meditative stance that you already do. And a facilitator then hits the gong. That's obviously going to be this recording that we're using right now. It was actually done with a mallet and a gong, and it's actually my own track on Forbidden Knowledge Music, which is actually my artist name. Participants are invited to passively soak up the benefits of sound. It's referred to as a bath due to the participants being immersed in the vibrations of these instruments during the session. 11-minute, 11-second gong bath this morning. And again, if you need more time on a gong bath, you can take this track. It's on YouTube. It's on every other music platform you could think about. Spotify, Deezer, Tidal, Apple Music, Amazon. It's everywhere. You could take 423Hz Gong Meditation by Forbidden Knowledge, and you can loop it, and you can have as much time as you want in that gong meditation. Okay, so today we're going to go ahead and start this gong meditation. Now, one thing I want you to do is understand we're focusing now on the breathing technique. As I always say, you try to inhale 10 seconds, exhale 10 seconds. The breathing part is the most important part in most meditations because you need to get that oxygen into the blood. You need to get that blood pumping and moving around the body, even though you're still remaining a Zen stance, a Zen mindset. The next thing you need to do also, once you get your breathing started, is you need to focus on calming the mind. So in your mind, like I do, I see a bowl. I see a huge bowl in my mind. And then I see that a hand reaching into that bowl and literally picking up my thoughts and taking them and removing them from my mind. So the hand is reaching in and picking up multiple thoughts at the same time and taking it off to the side and just dropping them outside the bowl, which is leaving outside of my actual mind state. So it's actually helping me get into a Zen state. It's helping me calm the mind, remove the chaos that's going on in my mind. Now, when the first time you do this for beginners, it might take you some time to get that bowl down to empty. It might take you 3, 4, 5 minutes, maybe sometimes even 10 minutes. I mean, depending on how much chaos is going on and how inexperienced you are. But as you become better and better at doing this, you'll find that that hand can reach in and pick up multiple thoughts, sometimes 10, 20, 30 thoughts at a time, and scoop them out and remove them. And as you become better and better, you can reduce the amount of time it takes to get your mind down to a state of, almost emptiness in terms of what the chaos and the turmoil and all the thoughts, the chatter that's going on inside of there. Typically now I can get this done within less than a minute on average. Sometimes even shorter than that, depending on what's going on and how I'm getting in. I prefer the mornings because the mornings, early in the morning, you have accumulated much less trauma, stress, anxiety, and different things you have to do, different responsibilities that need to take place for the day. And so if you get this done early in the morning, what typically happens is it's a lot easier to empty the mind. And also, because a lot of the minds around you are at a lower state and their sleep state, there's a lot less conscious chatter as well going on in the third dimension. And so to me, it just gives a much better time to access these other realms and experience different things, including getting a lot of things done. So after my meditation, I typically see that I'm much more productive in getting my checklist done for the day and knocking it out very early. Okay, so we're going to begin this gong meditation. Again, focusing on the breathing, inhaling 10 seconds, exhaling 10 seconds. If you have lung issues or lung problems, then of course you can't go in too deep because you'll end up making yourself cough, and you don't want to do that because that's going to irritate you and destroy your meditation. So inhale as deeply as you can. If it's 5 seconds, if it's 7 seconds, 8 seconds, try to get a good inhale as deep as you can without causing any irritation to your lungs if you have any lung conditions. Okay, we have to take in consideration of everyone. So let's begin, guys. That was 11 minutes and 11 seconds. Amazing gong bath meditation. Again, you can loop this and play it back to back as many times as needed. It's really amazing the benefits of sound healing, which go back, as we talked, many thousands of years. And the implications of sound healing and the fact that, we are using different types of forms of what we call quote unquote healing right now, which isn't really truly healing. A lot of it is masking. And the ancestors talked about sound healing. That's really what they talked about. They understood the power of sound, frequency, vibration,